On my way to the river bottom again. I'm gonna ride over here and meet my student David. I'm gonna test the skies for him, and we might do a little group flying together. That should be interesting. Hey guys, this video was, I really didn't plan on making it into a video at first. I turn on the camera, I film stuff, and then I look at it later and kind of think, you know, do I want to make this? Do I want to publish this? I met up with a student and I talked to him after the flight and asked him, you know, hey, can I use some of this footage just to kind of do a demo of how things are and what it's like to do an assisted flight with me. This is what a lesson looks like when you pay for an assisted flight with me as an instructor. You know, this is some of the things that we go through and some of the things we talk about. And I just thought that I would take at least my side of it. Of course, you can't hear his side. I'm not smart enough to do a dual live comm. Okay, maybe I'm just not unlazy enough. Fuck, that's not a word. I suck at English. I'm too lazy to do a dual live comm, so you're only gonna hear my side of it. It's what I was instructing him, and this was maybe his 5th flight. Still under training. He's got some more since then. I talk him through some flying, some takeoffs, some landings, and he makes a couple of bobbles, and hey, it may be something that helps somebody learn. If you're curious what it's like to come out on a training mission with me, this is what it's like. I hope you enjoy. So I've gotten out here to the field, and conditions are cold and windy, but the windsock's showing that looks pretty good, so I'm not sweating it too hard. But I am chilly. I'm gonna have to put on another layer just to stand out here in this wind, so there's that. I think it's gonna be good though. I guess I'm recording, I don't know. Let's see if I remember how to launch this thing. Got a cravat in my left wingtip. There it goes. I got it out. No, the bumps are pretty mild. They're not real strong. Yeah, I'm recording right now. You can look at the water down there and see the wind on it. Learn to read what it's doing. Like if you do have to put her down somewhere, you want to know which direction you're going to be landing. So anytime you get a wind indicator, be sure to look at the terrain and kind of pick a direction and say it's coming from there. And so that you don't have to think about it anymore. It's always in your mind which way you need to be going. And then you can plan any approach accordingly. I'm gonna ease off the throttle and come down lower, and I'm gonna feel where the turbulence layers are. Kind of get an idea of what the air's like on the way down. It's relatively docile here. There's a few little mild bumps, like a 1 or 2 on the bump scale. Nothing extreme. A while ago, it was about 100 feet off the ground was where I noticed it, but that could be different. You know, things change. Even in the course of 10 or 15 minutes, you might get something at a different spot. But I don't think it's supposed to have any drastic changes. That's what you really worry about. There's the little turbulence right there. It's still about 100 feet off the ground, but it's just almost nothing to it, man. Like it gets a little worse as you get closer, but again, no biggie. That's right. And I'm real familiar with this area, so I know that those poles don't have lines on them. Check it out, a sundog. You see that? Or is it just because I've got my polarized glasses on? Well, out there to the right of the sun, call it a sundog. All right, David, it's too good not to go practice a little bit. Come over here and make some approaches at this airport. The turbulence has subsided nicely. I'm gonna look for airplanes, make sure that there's no air traffic anywhere before I start getting anywhere near an airport. I think we're all clear here. Now, if you're behind me, Dave, be careful following me because I'll have some wake turbulence right where I've been. So just be aware of that. Like I'm gonna go to the right of the trucks, and I'll let you keep it over here to the left of them. So I'm paralleling the field right now. I'm on my base turn. I'm crabbing. This is crabbing. Now I want you to make your turn higher than I'm making mine. I'm actually quite a bit lower than I need to be. And I'm gonna aim into the wind. I'm looking at the windsock and I'm figuring out exactly where I'm going. And I'm just gonna fly over the field at 20 feet. And then when I get to the road, I'm gonna give it gas and climb back up. Yeah, stay on it until you get on your approach path and then let off and look at where your approach goes. Be sure to practice getting out of the seat and taking that landing configuration. I mean, you don't have to land. Just make a couple passes without touching the ground, but pretend like you're gonna land. That's important. Look good.
I want you to have a little more altitude when you're coming around. I tell you what, I'm gonna talk you through a landing. Let's get some landings and takeoffs in. It's just too good not to, man. It's so perfect. I want you to leave your motor running, and I want you to land. You got wind, you're good. You know where the kill switch is. You can hit it, but you may need that power. So even if you come in with a little power, everything's got to be real smooth. Just fly in, and then increase the pressure on the brakes as you get close to the ground, and just feel it out, man. All right, there you go, and then kill it, turn around. Or keep it running and kite it back up and do another launch. It's all good. It's all good. No, you're fine. I just, that was actually a beautiful landing. So now you're just kiting again. Now you're just kiting. Everything's just a kiting move. So I'm gonna talk you through it and build you a wall into the wind. You see you're not squared up with the wind a little bit there. Let it go all the way down. No, all the way down. Yeah, but always start from the ground. You put a lot more energy in that wing when it's all the way flat than going from where it's hovering out there in front of you. There you go. Looks good. Get it stable. Nice and steady. Start walking backwards to build a little speed. There you go. That makes it a lot easier to control it. And then turn and hit the throttle. Lean back. Lean back. Trust your motor. There you go. Just build it. Full throttle. Run. There you go. I like it, David. Now I'm gonna restart and go back up there too. Practice session with Kylo, man. Now something to consider, the wind is actually getting slower. So your landings are gonna be a little bit faster, and your takeoffs are going to be a little bit faster. You're going to be used to taking those 4 or 5 steps and jumping into the air, but you're going to have to keep running as the day gets softer and softer. Heck yeah. Let's go into the wind then. That's always the best move, is just go straight into the wind. And then when you turn around, you get to zip back home nicely. Do is I fly circles so we can stay together. We ain't going to fiddle with that until like at least 100 flights. Yeah, it's just something else to get tangled up or not hooked, and if something as simple as a speed bar happens to go through the propeller, it's catastrophic, man. It fucks up everything. What I want you really accustomed to doing all this regular stuff, clipping in, where to grab the risers. That just needs to be like second nature before we go adding anything else. 10-4, you were right in the sunshine. I couldn't see. No, I was just putting my gloves on. And I looked up and I couldn't find you anymore. Yeah, there's gonna be a few of them today. That was a given. Anytime there's wind, there's gonna be bumps, especially inland. Sometimes it can be light wind and you probably wouldn't feel them, but they're still there. Now a little side note about this turbulence that we're feeling. The terrain out here in front of us has a lot of texture to it. There's a bunch of little rolling hills out here in front of us. You can see them in the distance there. That causes a lot of movement to the air. When the wind blows over that, you'll get the effects of it way downwind. That's what we're feeling right here. Yeah, and the lower you get, the stronger it is being close to this stuff. Now, I don't know if you can see how much I'm moving around. I'm not putting any inputs in. I'm just letting it, and I'm letting it do what it does. I'm not putting in any inputs. Yeah. Now, once you get low, you really want to control it, but you know, it's good practice to control it. But sometimes just feeling what it's doing. See, I'm going to climb up and I'm going to turn downwind, and it should start to get smoother. Or even turn crosswind where I've got a big field in front of me. If you've got a large flat area out in front of you into the wind, that's going to be smoother air. So cutting back this way, because it's favoring the west, we probably want to be on the other end of this valley. It's already smoother right here. Now I just let my arms hang on the toggles. I mean, I'm not holding them up. I'm keeping just arm weight pressure. Just letting my arms hang. It's pretty comfortable, really. It's called feel pressure. That's what you want. You always want to be feeling the wing with about the weight of your arms. When you hear somebody say hands up or arms up, that's actually what they're talking about. They're talking about the weight of your arms on the toggles. That's arms up. Not if you just hold them up and you don't feel any tension on the lines, you have no control of the wing. So having a little tension is very important. You see this big field out here in front of us, David? I want you to come down low with me over here on the other side of these power lines. And I just want you to feel how much better it feels over here than it did over there. Because we had all those trees and hills and the road. But if you get down in the corner of this field right here where it's just nothing but this dirt in front of us, the air should be a lot smoother. I want to go down here and check it out and see. But I would bet money that it's smoother here than it was over there. I'm just doing some S-turns to lose some altitude. Just kind of going back and forth. See, I ain't hardly felt a bump right here. Just a few tiny. Yeah, there's almost no turbulence right here. Because we got this large field and this clean wind coming across it. I'm almost on the ground and I'm barely even feeling anything. There's a little bit. You always feel a little bit. And then the closer you get to the other side of it, the more you'll feel. What you're feeling is those rotors coming over the trees way up there. Or the remnants of them. But that's what that is. You feel that? Feels good, doesn't it? Alright, Dave, I'm going to go back over here to the field. And I'm going to put my rig down. And then I'm going to talk you through a couple of touch and goes, man. These are perfect conditions to do it. I'd kick myself in the head as an instructor if I didn't talk you through at least two of them. It's how you fly. You're going to be flying on the ground. It's a taxi maneuver. It's fundamental. You have to learn it. And you can really only do it safely when you've got a little wind and a wide open spot like this. And again, if at any point something's weird, all the same rules apply. You kill it, turn around and kite it. Tell you what, I'm going to do a demonstration for you first and just talk you through me doing it, okay? So I'm getting some altitude before I make my turn into the wind. Give myself plenty of room just so I can get set up. I'm going to let off the throttle a little bit. I'm going to turn back into the wind. And right now I'm looking at the windsock. As soon as I make my turn, I'm picking my line. I'm out of my seat. I got my chest forward. Now I'm in a landing configuration and I've got my brakes. I'm putting a little pressure on them and I'm just getting the throttle. I'm using throttle to control my altitude. All right. And I'm going to go deeper in the brakes and I'm going to run and I'm going to add gas and I'm running and I'm running and I'm running and I'm running and I'm off again. I want you to pull your trims in all the way slow though. That's going to make it easier for you. Yeah, you grab those trim tabs and you pull them all the way and that tightens them up. That's what you want. Yeah, make a pass while I land and put my stuff down. And say, I'm gonna make this landing count here. I got my line picked all the way to the truck. I've got my leg out in front of me. I'm adding brakes and I'm just running it out. And I'm just gonna keep running. I'm not even adding power. I'm just running and taxiing. That's what I want you to do. And then if everything looks right, you'll add power. Not on this run, but in a minute. But the approach sets up the landing or the touch and go or whatever you're doing. So it's always good to master that approach first. That's what we've been practicing. It's good to master that approach first. Master that approach. I want you to practice getting out of that seat, getting in that landing gear down, one foot out in front of the other. Be ready on the throttle. I want you to have some pressure on the brakes just so you can feel them. You want to feel that wing. Yeah, get it stable. Be real gentle on throttle movements when you're low like that. Man, what a beautiful evening, Dave. We couldn't have picked it better, I don't think. I tell you what, just do a landing. Just do a normal landing, Dave. But instead of stopping, I want you, as soon as your feet touch, I want you to add a little throttle and start running. That's going to be the easiest way to step into this. No sudden movement slow, even if it's the throttle or the wing or anything. Everything needs to be real gentle and smooth. Yeah, that's good. That's why we're practicing. So instead of flying at the field, I just want you to kind of set up a normal approach now. And I want you to try to land right out there on the edge. I'll talk you through it. Get some altitude first. I want you to come in on this approach at idle. I want you to get squared up with the wind, straight into the wind, turn toward me. All right, now your machine's going to be at idle when you're coming in. I want you out of your seat, landing configuration. You're actually going to touch down on this one. I want you to pull a little bit of pressure, just the weight of your arms, just to feel that wing. I want you to pull a little. You're swinging a little bit. Just pull enough to kind of dampen that. Yeah, that looks better. That looks a lot better. Yeah, that's okay. Go back up. Get some altitude. I want you a lot higher so you don't have to add any power. We want you on a perfect, stable approach at idle at 100 feet. So you were still giving it gas at 20 feet just then to make the field. So keep giving it gas until you're high. Your approach is going to be steeper than what you were just doing. So you want to be higher and closer to the field than you were a while ago. All right, now I think you'll make the field. So you're just doing a landing. Don't think about anything else. Just come in and make it a good landing. That's all we're doing. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful landing. 1 foot in front of the other. Save that speed. Don't hit your brakes yet. All right, now start adding a little pressure. Now, there you go. There you go. Now run. Run. There you go. Now add throttle. Full throttle. Keep running, keep running, keep running, keep running. You see what happened? You jumped in your seat. You almost hit.
Keep running, keep running, keep running, keep running.
That looked great, except when you jumped in your seat. All right, hold on the throttle. I want you to have altitude. All right, I think you're about ready. See how that glide puts you. Get it all stable. Get it looking good. It looks like you're coming right toward the field. Oh, added power. That's okay. If you ever have to do it, make sure you do it enough that one time. What I don't want is a bunch of little bitty additions. Just one big addition whenever you know you need it. And then you really want to focus on the glide at that point. All right, you're at 5 feet. Brakes. There you go. There you go. You can. This wind is so nice to keep you. Like, can you imagine if no wind, how tired you'd be doing this?
I finally got it, dude.
That was good.
Is mine on? I kept trying to fiddle with it, but I couldn't.
No.
So that's sort of what a typical training session looks like. They're always different. People have different skill sets and want to work on different things. And we just sort of tailor the training to what the pilot needs. You know, you can Monday morning quarterback it all you want, but that's the way it goes. It's always different. This was just a single example of many different flights that I've done with people over the years. Yeah, if you're curious about training, this is a real glimpse of what it looks like. Just an average training session. If you want training yourself, contact me. I'm available. I've got some changes coming up with the school this summer. I'll get to that soon in a video, but for now, still offering lessons. Yeah, I got some news coming. Y'all stay tuned for that. Hey, appreciate you checking out the video. Much love, everybody. Kyle out.